And now, the moment you've all been waiting for.
Gender mixing, procedurals like we've talked about. Some of them are great and some of them aren't. And this isn't one of the best ones, but it's okay. Yeah.
Who's the other gender then in this?
The female detective, sorry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. See,
is she very good at her job?
Oh, very. And she's new.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Has she had a few challenges to get into her position?
Good evening and welcome to Is It a Bicycle? Season 9, Episode 13, the original and bestest ever TV and movie podcast. My name is Stephen Wrigley and I'll be your host for this evening. Beside me I have a man who this week realised he was the hot single in his area looking to date the whole time. It's Mike McDonough. And in the red corner, it's our cuddly killer, a man who'd like to give a shout out to all the people who are going through an identity crisis. You know who you are. It's Mark Superhero Leonard. This week we'll be discussing some movies in the shape of The Martian and India's Daughter, and some TV in the form of The Grinder and Blindspot. Of course, we'll have the usuals. We'll have some news and some previews, and coming to a bicycle near you. So how are we doing?
Fantastic, Steve.
Great.
Doing pretty good, Stephen. I think you get funnier every week.
I was hoping for a very good, funny story from you about now, actually. No pressure.
So I said to my wife before I came in here, what was the thing that I said I was going to say on the podcast? So
I
have
some.
I have scientific evidence that alcohol increases the difficulty of mathematics exponentially.
You're trying to count change
interested?
at the bar?
Yeah.
Or go on, tell us.
Well, that'd be an obvious way, but I have a less obvious one. So, as you know, I count calories these days. I'm a calorie counter.
Yes,
I'm one of these sad people that every time I have a meal, it involves frantic typing into
My
an
Fitness
app on
Pal.
my phone to
Yeah.
calculate out all my calories. So it was it's Michelle's birthday tomorrow, actually.
Oh, right.
Future happy birthday, Michelle. And we were celebrating it on Saturday night at a very nice restaurant near us. And I decided I was going to have a couple of drinks. So everybody knows that drink is like 7-8 calories per gram. So you got to be careful how much of that stuff you drink. Not just because of the drunkenness. So I ate half a breakfast, skipped one of my lunches, no second breakfast at all, and worked out that I had in around 14 to 800 calories to spend on the dinner out and the drink.
So you had enough for soakage, good soakage.
Yeah.
Like.
I had enough for a good dinner, including dessert if I wanted it, and a few drinks. Mm-hmm. The problem was I couldn't have done my 2 times tables after the first bottle of wine. And I was there going, there's something I'm supposed to add. And I was there looking at my phone. I was going, like, this app makes no sense. So, luckily enough, the bottle of wine that we brought home, we were too tired to drink it. Otherwise, it would have been a complete disaster entirely.
Yeah.
So, heed my warning, gentle listeners. If you're going to add your calories for your drink, do it before you start drinking them, not as you go along.
That could end up messy, all right.
So it got quite nasty. It got a little bit out of hand, but it was a good night. Good night.
Good stuff.
Night had by all.
The occasion marked. Good to hear. I didn't do anything as exciting as that this week. Actually, I went to the Helix. Went to see a cousin of mine playing in the Helix this weekend. He's
That
playing
sounds pretty
piano and
exciting.
singing. Yeah, it was pretty good.
The one
In DCU.
new,
Yeah, up in
Very good.
2011. Yeah, it was very good, actually. So, anyway, in between going to gigs and stuff, I saw Rosewood, Season 1, Episode 1. This is Sean's mate, Morris Chestnut. Remember Morris Chestnut? He interviewed him last year.
from the Comic-Con.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so this is yet another mixed-gender crime-solving procedural. Would you believe it? Right, so he plays a Miami pathologist, a private pathologist. And this he reminds us many times during it that I'm private, because I need money, private pathologist. So he plays Dr. Beaumont Rosewood Jr. And so he finds secrets in people's bodies using his absolutely fantastic labs.
Okay.
That you can't get anywhere else because he's private pathologist.
Ah.
Yeah, it's all like glass and mirrors and, the kind of place.
They have like microscopes and stuff.
Oh yeah. State of the art.
Test tubes.
Yeah.
Is there a Bunsen burner in the back?
It's almost like the lab in Iron Man, You know, that
Okay,
kind of way.
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
so
Is Gwyneth Paltrow in it?
no, unfortunately, no. But Charity Wakefield, I think, is in it.
Okay.
Yeah. So he's good at deducing stuff. There's left lying around for him to consider when detectiving and needing to look clever. Like there's a scene where he walks in and he meets the detective for the first time, and he kind of wants to say something. And as he's walking in, he spots that she has conveniently left a wedding ring and a pack of what do you call it, nicotine gum on her towel at the door, and then he deduces stuff and says stuff to her. And she's going, "How did you figure that out?
Yeah.
Wow, you're so smart." Yeah, so she's
So
very
who
impressed.
do you think would win in a deducing fight? Him or Sherlock Holmes?
Oh, Sherlock.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah.
He's not able to think outside his head, no?
No, but they do little things like that, like little outcuts or incuts or whatever you call them, where you can see how he's working out stuff, you know. So, but he's got a fault. He's not perfect, our
2
man.
2 is 4. 2 times 3 is 6.
But he's not perfect.
Try that after a few drinks.
The poor man has a hole in his heart, and he's got other medical problems on which he needs, a variety of drugs.
Okay, so it's medical.
so-
It's not that he's divorced or anything.
No, not financial issues. Oh, but he's a private pathologist. Don't forget that, right?
Okay.
So, so he does need money and a check. Anyway, would I recommend it? I definitely recommend if you like these gender mixing, procedurals like we've talked about. Some of them are great, and some of them aren't. And this isn't one of the best ones, but it's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's the other gender then in this?
The female detective. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. See,
is she very good at her job?
Oh, very, and she's new.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Has she had a few challenges to get into her position?
Probably. The other one I look at was, that's news, The Player, season 1, episode 1. This has Wesley Snipes in it.
No way.
Yeah.
Is it broke?
Sorry. The Player is Wesley Snipes and Charity Wakefield. Sorry, Charity
okay.
Wakefield wasn't in Rosewood, yeah.
Right.
And this is set in Las Vegas. I thought Sean would love this. I assume you've seen it. And it's an action drama. And what it's about is there's high-end stake games going on in Vegas, and it's all about world events.
Right.
And the player is an intelligence officer with an English accent, so he must be smart kind of a guy, right? And then Charity plays the sort of the dealer, right? And Wesley is the top man, right?
Oh, okay.
So within this sort of game, they would bet on a world event, say like I don't know, Ukraine and Russia or whatever, you know.
Okay.
And then they would have sort of, you know, dark forces at work to try and work it to go one way or the other kind of thing. So they'd send in the player, but the player's got morals, whereas the other players don't, kind of, you know. So that's, it was terrible.
I kind of like the sound of that.
No, it sounds good. And I thought, brilliant, this is going to be great. You know, nice little gem.
Yeah.
But the dialogue is like, within the first 6 minutes, I was going, oh, God. You know, it was just like cliche and cliche.
Gambling,
Look,
spies.
you know what? This could be
Fucking
right up
Wesley
your
Snipes.
street. This could be right up your street, but it's not up mine. No.
Does Wesley Snipes have a sword?
Not yet. But, you know, he could pull one out of the bag at any stage, or a tax payment.
You know what? I think I'm going to watch that.
Are you?
Yeah.
Okay. Did I mention that the ex-intelligence CIA agent guy was a rogue agent?
Oh.
Yeah, so really is right up your street, yeah.
Yeah, rogue agents. It's always...
Okay, so Spooks.
Mm-hmm.
Kit Harington. Spooks, The Greater Good.
Okay.
Yeah, so this came out in end of May, start of June.
Yeah.
And it's, I kind of wanted to go back and see how Jon Snow did in a different environment.
Okay.
So it's based in the UK, and it's all right.
All right.
It's kind of a Jason Bourne. Well, it's not even Bourne because he's not rogue, but his boss is.
Okay.
So
a question, Steve.
Yeah.
There's a TV show of the same name. Is this the same thing, and do you need to have watched it?
Thanks for bringing that up. It used to be a TV series, and no, you don't.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is this the precursor to a new TV series? Or
No, this is, there used to be a TV series back in the day called Spooks.
Oh yeah, I used to watch
This is
that.
this is based on it, and I don't think there's going to be another TV series. I think this is the movie.
This is just a one-off,
Just a-
like
yeah.
the X-Files movie.
As far as I know.
Yeah.
As far as I know. Yeah.
Okay, I thought it was maybe an attempt to reboot it and
Yeah. No.
get another 10 seasons in.
No. This was quite 24-ish though. And it's kind of that standard. You know, it's not bad.
Yeah.
It's not.
Yeah.
You're not going to remember it next year. You know, really.
Yeah.
And what happens is a terrorist escapes custody during a routine handover, hence the boss being fired and so on.
Okay.
And then Kit must team up with him. They're both MI5 or ex-MI5 and track him down before an attack on London.
I see.
So, yeah. So
Yeah.
there's a lot of running.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm telling you, Oscar goes to for the best runner this year is definitely Kit Harington for sure. He outdid even Tom Cruise
No way.
with his running. Yeah.
Jesus, he must be fit.
No, he did a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
Yeah. So is this the fantasy MI5 where they all carry guns and kick in bad guys' doors and stuff? Or,
Yeah.
or is it the one where they just tap your phone and wait for 6 months to see if anything interesting happens?
The former, I think. Yeah.
Okay.
I went down and watched episode 2 Limitless.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Did you see this, Mark?
No, but
I
I
didn't.
really want to watch it. What's the deal, Steve? Is it worth a look?
It is, yeah. No spoilers, but yeah, we talked about it last week. We liked it. I watched more of it. Still like it. So, I not as strong as the pilot, but yeah, for sure, I'll watch another. Yeah.
I just
Cool,
have
'cause
one
I
question.
want to try and add that to my list of shows.
I just have a question, Steve. Did you get arrested and spend some time in custody just watching TV this week? Or
No.
I've seen an awful lot of stuff.
I saw an awful lot of stuff. Yeah. Let's say I was housebound for a number of days. Yeah, number of evenings, let's say. So, yeah, I had plenty of time. Mark, tell us about Homeland. Season 5. Yeah.
Homeland, the new season has just kicked off. Carrie has left the CIA, and she's living in Germany as a private security
Consultant.
No, she's actually not a consultant. I said that my sentence structure was just assways, but I was in there too deep to pull it back properly. Let me start over.
Nice recovery. Yeah.
She's working as a security head for a corporation. I'm not happy with that sentence structure either, but we're just going to have to press on, I think.
Yeah.
So it is the same terrorist backdrop, but it's set in Germany. And so it's like a lot of the same problems, but the way she's forced to deal with things now has changed because she doesn't have the backup of the CIA. The CIA is still working away, like Saul is there. And what was the guy that played Agent 47?
Rupert Friend.
Is that his name?
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like a real person's name, that.
That's his name, yeah.
It's like a kid's show character. But anyway, Rupert Friend, if that is indeed his real name, is in it as well. And they're quite busy. Like it's good, right? I've only seen the first episode, but it's kind of moving at a good pace already, which is a problem with last season of Homeland. It meandered a lot.
Took about 4 episodes to get into it, yeah.
It did, yeah. But this one, I was kind of going, right, I'm immediately interested now. And Carrie's kid is in the picture. And it's interesting. It's interesting. Like,
I saw
they're
it too.
characters
Yeah,
we know and love, right? But there are layers. They're like ogres and onions.
It was kind of funny to see Carrie just leading a normal life, having kids' birthday parties, dropping her kids to school, at home with like her loving partner, hanging out, like, that kind of stuff was kind of funny.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Do you need to be up to speed with all the Homeland stuff?
No.
So I forgot all that.
No, I don't think so. No.
Even less so than usual, in fact.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You could pick this up on this season even if you hadn't watched any Homeland, I think.
Yeah. There's a great scene where there's a hacker hacking an extremist website, and at the same time he runs into a CIA hacker hacking the same website, and suddenly they're communicating with each other, right, via IPs that can't be traced because they use proxies, right? But then bad hacker hacks the hacker, the CIA hacker, Yeah.
So the hacker gets hacked.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
he's no longer the hacker.
No, I just thought it was funny. The hacker, the hacky. Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Who's the noob now?
Yeah, exactly. What else is on this week? Heroes. The new Heroes. What's it called?
Heroes Reborn.
Reborn. What did you reckon? I know you're looking forward to this.
I was. And, well, I was and wasn't. It's written by the same guy, same showrunner.
Yeah.
As the last time. And I thought that he constructed a tremendous universe that was incredibly interesting. And then he just dropped the ball season after season after that. I'm not sure about it, Steve. It's a lot of the same kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Right? They reference a lot of old characters. The man with the horn-rimmed glasses in it as well, Claire's dad. And there's references all over the place to previous characters, right? But it is essentially a new cast with new powers, and that's good. But I just don't know, right? I don't know. One of the things that got to me in the end was Hiro Nakamura, who was a fan favorite, but not a favorite of mine in the original.
Yeah.
They also have a Japanese side plot in this one.
Yeah.
And it seems equally irrelevant to me.
It's a bit bizarre,
Like, it's just-
actually.
It's just put in because we have Japanese subplots in this show. Do you not remember?
Yeah.
You know, like, don't do that.
Yeah.
But one of the things about the original Heroes, at least season 1, was there was a very strong manifest destiny. Save the cheerleader, save the world, and all that.
Yeah.
That's completely missing in this. They're trying to recreate it by horn-rimmed glasses man has memories that he's lost. And that's going to be the focus of the early running in this, is for him to try and get those back. And it's set against the backdrop of an anti-Evo, which is what they call, the evolved or the superheroes, an anti-Evo act of terrorism. So while that is interesting, I just think the pilot of the original Heroes was much stronger. So I am going to keep an eye on it.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to go in as deep. Speaking of going too deep, I promised you guys weeks ago I would watch episode 3 of Significant Mother. And I finally got around to it. So the joke of this week was she thought she was pregnant.
Right.
And do you know what? Like, I've kind of got the antibodies for the rubbishness of it.
Right.
So I can actually, when they occasionally pull out a decent joke, I can laugh at it now.
Yeah.
But the problem is that she doesn't act like a mother would act, right?
Oh, yeah.
Which I guess is par for the course of this kind of a TV show. But like, the opening scene is he walks into the house and she's scantily clad walking down the stairs and he's going, "Mom." And like, they do that every episode.
Yeah.
So that's getting a bit old, but it's not a great show. It's just not a great show.
I think we agreed on that.
I think you've listened to our review back then.
No, but the question I was trying to answer, the reason why I'm masochistically continuing with this is because we want to know if they have new jokes apart from the fact that, dude, I'm totally doing Stifler on your mom. And I guess the answer is really they don't. Okay. It's all kind of things that would make you uncomfortable if they happen to your mom and your friend.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They haven't really branched out much from that. The relationship between the ex-husband and the rest of the family was about the most interesting thing that happened in this episode. And that actually works. A lot of that works. Mm-hmm. But I think the core concept is 3 episodes in and a bit old already, so they've got a problem there.
Yeah.
So it's still filler.
Yeah. I just want to jump back to Heroes Reborn because I had a look at it too.
Right. What do you think, Steve?
Yeah. See, this genre isn't a favourite of mine, but I enjoyed this, and I think this happened to me when the original Heroes was out too, because I like those episodes when people are discovering their powers and they're kind of young. They go, "Oh shit, I've got this thing that I can do and I can't control it," and stuff happens, and I don't know where things, what happens, when I do it and so on.
Does it take you back to the first time you picked up a wrench when you were small?
Yeah, exactly. so, I thought it was fine. It was, dialogue strong, writing strong, story wasn't bad, and I quite liked the horn-rimmed glasses dude side of it as well. Would I watch any more? I'm not sure. Just because it's not sort of it wouldn't be on my agenda, that kind of genre. So, but if you are, I would say take a look at it. Yeah. In fact, I'm hoping Mark will come back and tell us how it gets on.
I'll keep you updated, yeah.
Yeah.
Keep you updated.
It's kind of fun. It's light watching,
They just need to cut out that Japanese storyline. And
That's
do you know what?
That's
For
the
a change,
craziest thing. I've never seen anything like it. Because I don't know where it came from or where it's going or
what's the point of it? But
it's
like
completely
for a change,
removed.
I'm not complaining about it because it's got subtitles. I don't actually care about the subtitles.
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, it's just bizarre and
bizarre. Exactly.
Yeah. Anyway, there's one other thing I wanted to talk about. It was Code Black. Mark, I don't know how you missed this one.
What is it, man?
Code Black, season 1, episode 1. This stars Luis Guzman. Do you remember from Narcos? He was the Mexican.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's in loads of movies.
Uh-huh.
You know him from tons of stuff from the 80s. He was always the villain because he has that face, and Melanie Chandra, she was in The Brink and a load of other stuff. Very pretty looking girl. So this is sort of the usual Grey's Anatomy stuff. Right, it's a hospital. It's in LA.
Are they all pretty?
A number of them are, yeah.
Tell me more.
The
Steve.
diversity is there as well, Mike. Yeah. And in this emergency room, they have a code black. They've got a number of lights, right? The lights are color coded. That they change. The color coded change. The color-coded lights change as the resources of the hospital emergency room are outpaced by the number of cases coming in, right? Especially on a Friday. As the colors change, the pace picks up, the stress mounts, the misdiagnoses increase, the music gets louder, and the louder, louder that gets, the louder that medical jargon is shouted and stuff, until 5 minutes from the end. The usual 5 minutes from the end in one of these kind of programs, procedurals, people are forgiven for mistakes or misunderstanding. They hug. Some calm, lovely, flowery music, just as day is breaking, and they all go home with a, see you tonight. It's just like, yeah, no, you won't. It's right up your street, but, of course I've issues with it. And it's not, apart from the usual Grey's sort of drama stuff. They've got lifts, Mark. You mentioned this last week. They've got lifts, right? Yeah. But the misdiagnosis of those seriously, like, I need 10
cc's of fuckasacapan.
So, this one comes in, right? And she immediately tells them, I live above a furnace room. Yeah, I'm 9 months pregnant and I can't figure out why I feel weak and have headaches, right? and I was like, yeah, she's above the furnace room, but no one mentions it, right? And they said, will we do a talk screen? Jesus, no, just send her home. It's just like, give her a few fucking Panadols. Send her. I'll run a talks report behind, and then this, the new intern says, I'll run a talks report anyway behind her back, behind the boss's back anyway, and then I'll get into trouble when she finds out. But she'll come around when it becomes, back positive for carbon monoxide poisoning, and I'll find the patient face down the floor of her apartment just in time before she dies, So it's one of those, I was just like, it's carbon monoxide,
Screaming at the screen.
Yeah. She's above a furnace, Anyway.
So just to be clear, the code black doesn't mean that they've just had a power cut in the A&E, no?
No, it means that they've absolutely they go around and triage people, Okay. Are they going to die in the next 2 minutes? No. Okay.
Fuck them.
Yeah, fuck them. put them in the queue, so that's kind of it, if you like this kind of thing, you probably love it. I don't, so I can't recommend it.
I'm looking here at Mark. He's actually quivering with excitement.
I know, I can see him.
I can't wait, man. I can't wait to get out there and find this on a channel somewhere.
There's fucking,
and watch it.
There's fucking dribble coming down his lips.
Code black, yeah. That's you for the winter anyway. Sorted.
I'm all over that.
Okay. Next up, we'll have some news.
Old man Craig says he's not too old to play Bond. Daniel Craig is pushing 47, going on 100, and will soon be on our screens as James Bond for the 4th time in Spectre, set to drop in the UK on the 26th of October and around the world November 6th. Despite his advancing years, Craig has said he will keep going as long as he's able. Despite finding the demanding physical role tougher, now he's basically over the hill. Despite the risk of a broken hip and dropping lines due to Alzheimer's, Craig is still contracted for another Bond movie, though it happening is not guaranteed. Hot on the odds makers list to replace him is Damian Lewis, though Idris Elba and Tom Hardy are also tipped for 00 honours. In this reviewer's opinion, the odds makers have it all wrong. Given age is such a strong factor in casting, Gotham stars Ben McKenzie and Morena Baccarin are expecting. Why not gamble on that bump being a boy and cast him for the next Bond movie? By then he will be at least 4 or 5 and in the prime of his Bond playing years. Either way, we still have Spectre to look forward to as Daniel Craig makes standard definition viewing a reasonable option to smooth out all of those wrinkles. Sorry, Mike, I know you're like old enough to be his dad. Younger Jack Bauer to get it done in half the time. Age seems to be the topic this week as there are talks of a new 24 show featuring a 20-something Jack Bauer. Kiefer has said he will not be reprising, though the door has allegedly been left open for him to feature if he was interested. Risky thing, leaving doors open around old people. They could catch their death of cold. As to whether this young one will still need the standard 24 hours remains to be seen. Batman may caress Superman sensually in Bats vs. Supes. Be warned, fair listeners, Batman vs. Superman, opening everywhere on the 25th of March 2016, has been rated PG-13 due to violence and some sensuality. Now, I'm no expert in film ratings, but to me, the only way to read that is that Batman and Superman get down and dirty with each other in a shock twist. Maybe the justice that is dawning is not about the Justice League, but about Bruce Wayne kicking out of the closet and breaking down Superman's walls. You know what I mean. From there, the film basically writes itself. Oh, Batman, you've always been my real kryptonite. My parents were killed when I was a kid. Be my daddy, Superman. Batman, your suit has abs. Sploosh. In this reporter's view, Brokeback Batcave would have been a much catchier title. That's it from the news desk, Steve. Back to you in the studio.
Thanks very much, Mark. A couple of small ones for you. So, you know, What Do We Do in the Shadows? We reviewed it last year. Yeah. So, Taika Waititi, I hope I pronounced it right, the guy who's the main character in it, he is actually going to direct the next Thor.
Ah.
Thor Ragnarok.
Cool.
Yeah. Also, 21st of October is approaching fast. You know what the 21st of October is, don't you, Mark? It is. It's Back to the Future Day. It's the day that they went forward into the future and bought the $50 Pepsi.
Yeah.
Incidentally, Pepsi are releasing one.
I can't believe we survived all those Terminators to make it to
I know.
Back to the Future Day.
So, the last mission worked.
Yeah. Thank you, Arnie.
Yeah. So Pepsi are going to do a special edition bottle of Pepsi, and it's going to cost $20 instead of the $50 that's young Michael J. Fox bought back in the day. And Nike apparently are going to do the self-tying laces, retracting laces sneaker things as well.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So 21st of October.
What have they got against Velcro?
A bit mad. Velcro, I don't know. It's just not as handy. There's something else I wanted to mention on this.
Wasn't there something about Brendan Gleeson?
Brendan Gleeson and who was it? Are joining that movie that we can't remember the name of. We were talking about it earlier.
Yeah. Michael Fassbender.
I'll come back to it.
Yeah.
I'll come back to it.
X-Men.
No.
Age of Apocalypse.
No, I'll come back to it. So, there's also another movie in the works with Colin Meaney and Timothy Spall playing Martin McGuinness and Ian Paisley, respectively. And it's meant to be a comedy drama called The Journey. And it sounds like it's going to be like a buddy cop thing. I don't know how they're going to work it. Buddy political heads kind of a thing. Yeah. So there's a few pictures released this week on it, and they don't look unlike them.
Yeah, I thought it was very well cast.
Yeah, very well cast. Yeah.
And I never thought I'd see those boys on the big screen.
I know. Yeah. Some people are calling them the Chuckle Brothers. Yeah. So. Yeah. So. Anyway, if I remember that other piece, I'll come back to it. I don't know anyway, off the top of my head. Anyway, so, moving on. What do we start with? Let's start with the first of our TV. Mm-hmm. The Grinder. Mark, would you like to tell us about The Grinder?
I would love to, Steve. Grinder is the name of a fictional TV show where I guess the titular character is a lawyer played by Rob Lowe. And his TV show has come to an end, so he finds himself between jobs, I guess you would say, living with his real-life lawyer brother, played by Kevin from The Wonder Years.
Mr. Savage.
So we've got like a fake lawyer and a real lawyer thrust together by circumstance and family. And the show kind of kicks off when fake lawyer decides that his real calling is to be a real lawyer. And hijinks ensue. Where'd you find this?
I can't remember, actually. Can't remember. It might have been Metacritic. I can't remember.
On the telly.
What did you think of this, Mark?
Oh my God, I loved it. Oh my God.
Did you?
I loved it so much. This is my favorite sitcom of the last 17 years. Not since Friends debuted have I enjoyed a sitcom as much. So like we watched Brothers and Sisters fairly religiously in this house, which I think it's the last thing Rob Lowe was in. I'm not sure, but definitely the last thing I watched him in.
Yeah,
where he played, a serious politician. He was a senatorial candidate, and he was it was a drama, right? And he was extremely dramatic. And just to see him playing this tongue-in-cheek character is hilarious in itself, but he's a really good actor and he sells the shit out of it. And it just, like, I could spend the next 10 minutes pulling out jokes from this episode alone and just going through them. But I would like to leave that for the listeners. But there's just some great lines in it.
There's so many, isn't there?
And, yeah. And like they basically take people's perception that if you act a thing, you are the thing, and try and show that. And then Rob Lowe plays the actor who believes this. He believes he is the guy he's played on TV for 15 seasons, or however many seasons it was. It was 10 or I think. And it's just really, really funny. And then you have Kevin from The Wonder Years, who is plainly the less favored son. What's the name of that actor that plays
Fred
the
Savage.
Dad?
Fred
What was
Savage.
that?
Fred Savage.
No, that's Kevin from The Wonder Years. Who was their dad?
Oh, I can't remember off the top of my head. I'll tell you in a minute. Go on. Yeah.
But he's brilliant as well.
Yeah.
Because it'll really help when you get the name of the guy, because people go, that guy.
It was Dan. Go on anyway. Yeah.
But he's been in a load of stuff, and he is completely bought in to his son's grinder delusion. And that just makes it even funnier, because Kevin from The Wonder Years is plainly the audience proxy in this, because we're all looking at this going, this is ridiculous. This would never work. And that's what makes so much of what ensues as the episode unfolds so funny.
Oh, it's
so
it's William Devane.
Right. What was he in, Steve?
Bill
What was the
Devane.
things that he was in?
He
He's in a load of stuff.
He was in Interstellar. He was in The Dark Knight Rises. Knots Landing. Loads of stuff. I mean, a ton of stuff.
He's a huge and storied career. But anyway, I can't recommend this enough. If you're listening to this podcast and there's a TV near you, pause the podcast, go watch it and come back.
He was the president in 24, wasn't
He was.
he? Yeah.
He was the Alzheimer's president in 24.
Yes, that's who he was. Yeah. What do you reckon, Mike?
I turned this on, And I thought, oh, Jesus, another fucking American sitcom. But then it's kind of self-aware of how much it's taken the piss out of
it.
What
Is, isn't
doing.
it? Isn't it? That's the saving grace.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, totally.
And once I got over the hump of that, I kind of got into it. And, geez, it's pretty fucking funny. Rob Lowe, I think he's a guy whose career didn't quite make what it should have become, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know if drink and drugs and stuff had a role
Sex.
to play in that
We won't
along the
mention-
way.
We won't mention the sex.
Yeah.
We won't mention sex. Yeah.
Lots of sex.
Yeah, too much sex, I think, is what he said,
But he is bloody good at what he does.
allegedly.
Lost my train of thought. But yeah, just the contrast between him and his brother is priceless. You know, because his brother has obviously been the good little boy who's done what he's supposed to do all through school, qualified, become a lawyer, and then Rob Lowe just comes in and shits all over his life.
Yeah. And he's not being malicious about it.
No, it's just what he does.
He just thinks he is the man. Like, oh, you see what you're doing? I know how to do that way better.
Yeah.
I've been doing it for 10 seasons. You know, I am the grinder.
Yeah.
But the fact that, you know, when he goes into court with Fred Savage, it's that everyone's there just to see him.
Yeah.
And then he doesn't turn up and it's just like, but
Yeah.
you know, even the judge is like, for God. Yeah. That's just brilliant, you know.
Yeah. So I have to take my hat off to it. It's a bloody good show.
Yeah.
I'm just hoping they can keep the quality up.
Yeah.
Although I suppose Rob never had a problem keeping it up, so.
Well played, Michael. Well played.
Low blow. The poor man.
Rob Lowe.
23 years, 25 years of sobriety now?
Something like that.
Yeah. What was I going to say? Yeah, you guys have pretty much covered what I was going to say. So yeah. This is a thriller for me.
Yeah, go watch.
Yeah. It's good. Thriller all around. So, next up we watched India's Daughter. Mike, do you want to tell us a bit about this?
This is a documentary based on the rape of a lady called Jyoti Singh in New Delhi, I think in 2012. So basically the documentary interviews all the parties who were involved and tries to trace the story, provide a bit of background to A, what happened, and B, why it happened, and the impact of what happened. And goes from there.
Yeah. So she was the subject of a brutal gang rape and murder.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, it's like this is tough to listen to. You know, there's no graphic footage,
mm-hmm.
but it's not even that it's overly graphic description, but it's the way it's put together is very well done.
Mm-hmm.
And it moves along nicely, but it's a hard listen. It's a hard watch. I mean, Animals doesn't even come close to it. It's just incredible. Mm-hmm. But what also is unique, I thought, in this is not only they're interviewing the other victims, let's say the family, friend, and so on, but also the families of the guys, the perpetrators, let's say, and they interview some of the perpetrators in jail. Mm-hmm. Which is bananas, and their lawyers,
and the police,
and the
politicians,
and
they cover a lot of ground. Actually,
they certainly do. And you know what? The most striking thing is the culture. Mm-hmm. And you know, in my mind, I knew there was always going to be a traditional India, and there was a modern India. Yeah. And in the modern India, like Indian people that have moved to here that we know and so on, that you picture that would be the majority, right?
No.
I know there's a lot of people, right? But I mean, that would be the majority of the people who would think along the same lines, let's say. But man, was I wrong.
Yeah. It's too...
Now, granted, this is only one documentary. But I didn't realize how ignorant I was of the facts, let's say. This is a real eye-opener. Yeah.
It does do a good job of presenting two completely different worlds that are living on the same streets.
Yes, yeah.
You know, the people you come into contact with would normally speak English and whatever, but that's quite rare in India.
Yeah, so you mentioned
I think it's only about 7%.
7%, right? Yeah, I didn't know that. Yeah.
So it's this hidden world, I suppose, beyond what your normal interactions would give you.
Yeah.
And holy shit, it's medieval.
Man, yeah.
And I got the strong impression that that's probably the majority.
Yes, and so the majority of that thinking is that women are sort of not even second class citizens.
Not even property.
It's different. It's just like even one of the lawyers, obviously an educated guy, but even his approach to it was, they need to know their place.
Yeah.
But the way he put it was, if you owned a diamond, you'd keep it at home. You wouldn't leave it out in the street for a dog to pick up and blah, blah, blah. It's not, he's not thinking along the lines like, oh, hang on, they might be able to think for themselves,
Don't be ridiculous.
Absolutely. It's just crazy.
Yeah,
it is, it's objectification at its highest level. Like, it's absolutely nuts. And he was trying to, he wasn't even in court, like he's not in court, but he's still trying to vindicate and explain why what they did isn't he was nearly trying to say that it wasn't an offence.
Yeah, like, he obviously didn't think
it
was anything wrong.
Their fault, which is absolutely nuts. Yeah. And what they actually did was, the bit of background, the girl herself, she's a medical student. She was from a very poor family, but had made great achievements in her life in that she had worked 2 jobs to get into, or to keep paying her fees in medical school. Her parents had sold their ancestral lands. They're very poor background. And, she had just finished her exams, she was now a doctor, and then she just told her family that, now her problems are over. And she goes out to the cinema with a male friend. And as you do, you get a bus or a taxi home, and in this case it was a bus. And once they're on the bus, that was it, pretty much.
Yep.
And then they were just thrown out of the bus when there were 16 lads, was it? Actually?
It was 6.
Oh, 6 lads, sorry. When they were finished hours later.
Yeah.
Just absolutely nuts. Absolutely nuts.
Yeah.
But anyway, this is just one small story in a greater problem. They have a massive rape issue, it seems, in the country. And this was just the trigger to get people out on the streets. There's massive protests, student protests, of course. And I've seen just recently, even today, I remember I sent on that link or showed you that there's also ad campaigns from various places in India just displaying how people should consider that protection should be. What was the line? Protection is religion. Just to protect, protect people. It should be a religion, not it shouldn't be a religious difference that allows you to do this kind of thing. So it's very enlightening. It's fascinating. It's like I say, it's a tough watch. I couldn't recommend it to everyone knowing people, but I recommend for even the educational aspect.
Yeah,
because it's really It's had an impact on me. It really has, and I think I'll be reading more about it, or to see how it develops in India. On the back of this. But yeah, fascinating documentary, and it's only 60 minutes or something. Yeah.
Just a couple of things on it. I mean, apart from the whole story and whatever, and the impact that it makes, I really like the way it was made. Because there's no presenter.
Yeah, there's no narrator.
It's a bit like Senna.
Yeah.
It's just patchworks. They're letting the subject speak.
Yeah.
Whether it's the perpetrators or the victims.
Very well edited. Yeah.
Fantastic editing job to carry the story along. You don't. The narrative is always clear. And what they've chosen for each of the scenes is consistently powerful.
Yeah.
You go from one interview to another, and it's just like, whoa. What the fuck?
Yeah.
So I thought they did a fantastic job on that.
Yeah, this was written and directed by Leslie Udwin. yeah, I'm nearly speechless because it's just it's such a high impact documentary. You know.
One thing I would say was a little bit weak on it was the ending. Maybe I'm just dumb.
No, I think you're right. Yeah,
I didn't get a clear picture at the end of whether this is going to be the start of some change, or if it's been brushed over and forgotten about. I didn't. I felt it tailed off a little bit rather than there's no conclusion. Yeah, it's an open-ended kind of a feel. And I know it's probably an open-ended problem, but I just thought, like, given the quality of what went before it, they could have wrapped it up a little bit better.
And that's true, but at the same time, I don't know. I don't know if that made me think more about it because it left it open-ended, or rather than saying, since this thing, this date to this date, that so many people have blah blah blah, or gave us stats, as you usually get, So, I'm going to have to recommend this, but sort of, be careful with it.
Yeah. Careful as you go.
Yeah, careful as you go. It's a tough watch, like I say, it's not easy. You have to be nearly in the right state of mind to, it's not a happy watch.
Yeah.
It's just very, very informative. Yeah.
I mean, me personally, I like delving into the dark places.
Yeah.
And so I thoroughly enjoyed it. But if you kind of like living in a happy bubble,
yeah,
this is not really suitable.
Yeah, not really. No. But I mean, this is a subject that's, there has to be more documentaries made on it. There has to be, it has to get out. There has to be change. Like, it's just.
Well, I got the strong impression from watching it.
Documentaries watched.
Sorry, go ahead, Mark.
Documentaries watched by Westerners going to, or you just can't wait to bring me in now that I finally said something. Are documentaries being watched by Westerners going to do anything about cultural change in a different country?
Well, it'll certainly bring the subject to the forefront, and I think that's important.
People who aren't in that country.
Exactly, yeah. Yeah, but I think if more people are made aware of it, there'll be more pressure brought to bear on those who can make the change. Now,
I think Rupert Friend said it best. In the first episode of Homeland.
What's your strategy?
300,000 soldiers on the ground, backed up by an equal number of doctors and teachers. That's how you affect change. But lots of documentaries can be made before they do that.
Yeah.
But I don't think they're the vehicle for change.
I got the strong impression from watching it that nothing's going to change.
Well, that was one of the interesting statistics that was in there. Was it members of Parliament?
Oh yeah.
Was there 200 outstanding rape
over
cases?
300,
or 300
yeah.
Outstanding rape cases of members of Parliament. And they haven't been, they're not being put through the the rush court, the fast queue. They're like, we'll get to them at some stage.
Some year. Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. That's nuts. Like, people who are the people in power, like.
Yeah. So it wouldn't give you a great sense of confidence that anything's going to change anytime soon.
No. No. It's absolutely nuts. Anyway, how do you mark this?
Well, I'm just going to mark it as a documentary.
Yeah.
And I thought it was a very well made documentary. Yeah. It's probably not at the top level of stuff that we've watched.
So like in terms of like Senna and that.
Exactly.
Senna being the benchmark kind of thing?
Yeah, I don't think it would stand up to Senna. But that said, I did like the way it was made. I thought it was well done. So I'll give it a 7. It's a good documentary.
Yeah.
And the material is.
Yeah. I think I liked it a bit more than yourself. And I do think that more people need to see it. I really think that this is. This really needs to get out there, as tough as the subject is. It's not entertainment, So go into it with eyes open on this one. But I think it's a really strong 8. Go catch it. It's going to be out there. I think it may even be online now. So, yep. Okay. After that, where do we go? Let's go to the second of our TV, which was Blindspot. Mark, do you want to tell us about this mixed genre procedural?
I'd be delighted to. So, man, they mixed a lot of genres here. We'll get to that. So, synopsis is a package is discovered by a beat cop in, I think it was Times Square, New York.
Yep.
And they can't identify an owner. It looks suspicious. They cleared the streets, send in bomb disposal. And when the bomb disposal boy lands, he realizes that the bag is actually moving. When he opens it, he finds a heavily tattooed naked girl in there. Or what Mike calls Sunday morning. So, after some investigation and some medical analysis, they realize that she's pumped full of a drug that makes you lose your memory, basically. So she has no memory of who she is whatsoever. Much like Gina Davis in The Long Kiss Goodnight and many other people since, she's got a set of skills that she does remember.
Oh, yeah.
But it's people, places, and facts and stuff that she doesn't. So I guess the goal of this series is to let this girl remember who she is and also how it ties in to weightier events that affect the fate of the very world.
Handy thing is, having all those tattoos, she'll find her way out of prison handy enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She probably doesn't have a lot of room left.
You beat me to it, all right, yeah. Beat me to it. So that's the first genre, right? So it's a cross between Prison Break,
Yep.
Memento,
Oh, yeah.
24,
Yep.
The Long Kiss Goodnight. Well, it is. She remembers how to fight and do stuff like that.
Is that Gina Davis?
Mm-hmm.
Ah, Gina.
There was something else I was thinking of that reminded me of a lot. It'll come to me. Anyway.
What do you reckon of this, Mike?
I don't know, Steve. I was kind of thrown because this time there was a detective
That was male.
Male and really good at his job. And then there was somebody with skills that was female. And they were going to work together. But I couldn't
And the
understand
man thinks
how.
inside his brain.
Yeah, how is this dynamic going to work? Like,
How can he even think like that?
So, I don't know. My initial impression was, Jesus, this is some load of shite.
Right.
And then she started kind of beating people up and speaking Chinese and stuff.
Right.
And I thought, okay, you're kind of cool. And then I thought, it's still a bit of shite though, isn't it? And then the detective was kind of calling the shots and stuff and being all alpha male and kind of, yeah, okay, you're kind of cool. And I thought, this is kind of shite. So
Yeah.
I don't know, Steve.
You know what? I'm kind of with you on that.
Mm.
It is kind of shite. You know, as intrigued as I am by the tattoos, which is the gimmick.
Yeah.
That's the hook right there.
Yeah.
Blindspot. She's got tattoos. We need to interpret them. What? Come in next week and we look at her knee.
Yeah.
You know, and her tune in a week after we'll look at her elbow. You know, this kind of thing. And it's just like, you know what? I couldn't really give a shit. Really.
Yeah.
Seen this before.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't care who she is.
Mm-hmm.
Jane Doe.
Yeah.
You know, it didn't grab me. It didn't grab me enough. And like I say, it's kind of shy. But was it the writing? Was it the dialogue?
Yeah.
Yes, both.
Yeah.
Mark, what did you reckon?
Well, I didn't dislike it as much as you seem to have, Steve, but I was a little bit on the fencey all the way through because,
I wanted to like it. I wanted to like it.
I
but
think
it wasn't.
that's where I was as well.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
I think you've hit it right in the head. It seems like the kind of thing that I would like. Tonally, I found it very like 24. You know, like you guys have gone straight to the procedure, which of course it is.
Yeah.
But it didn't feel like a cop show procedural as much as it did like a Jack Bauer episode to me.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know, maybe that's just where my headspace was. I don't think it hits the mark though. It, like you guys have already said, in terms of character development, they tried, they gave it a decent shot. It just wasn't there for me. The problem is as well as we've done the tattoo thing to death in Prison Break. We that's not new. So I don't know if it is as good a hook as possibly the writers thought it was.
We've also done the lost memory thing you know, and the lost memory of someone with skills thing.
Over and over
it's
and
just
over.
kind of falling between two stools, as they would say in Ireland.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not feeling it for this. You know, I really wanted to.
I'm going to give it the benefit of the doubt.
Are you
interesting, Michael?
Are you, Michael?
Yeah, I'm going to watch one more.
Are you?
Yeah.
In a shock, unmikely like twist.
I think buried under the shite there could be there could be the bones of a decent show here. She's just got to remember a little bit more, and once they figure out what's going on, there might be some grand conspiracy.
Ah,
Yeah, and
but
then
it's
it could
just
be
in
cool.
their blind spot
Yeah,
right now. Yeah, I see. Yeah, okay.
I think there could be some kind of alien intervention or something.
Really?
Yeah.
I think that's wishful
Yeah.
thinking. Mike. I think that's wishful
Maybe,
thinking on your
maybe.
part.
Yeah.
So, would you go as far to give this thriller then, if you're going to watch more, or is this an on the fence kind of a thrillery fillery? But I'll watch one more just to be sure.
This is, do you know, like Mark with his drunk maths?
Yeah.
This is kind of trying to stagger home after a feed of pints and you just trip over the fence onto the thriller side.
Right. Okay. A guarded thriller then. Yeah. Okay. Mark. That's a long pause.
And the base definition is, you know, if you're not going to watch more, it's
Yeah.
filler. So I guess that's what it's going to be for me. But it's worth saying that this is a high quality TV show.
Yeah.
They spent a fair bit of money on it. There are good. There's some person in it that's surprising. Who is it? There's like an established actor or actress. I remember thinking, oh, look who it is. I watched this ages ago, by the way. Hence my lack of clarity on what the hell is going on in it.
Jeez, I don't know. Who was it?
Seamus Mickle-Tom.
Sullivan Stapleton. He's in it.
Make up another name like that Rupert Friend guy.
It's not Rob Brown, is it?
Oh, I don't know. Okay, look at I'm wasting podcast and listener time. To make a long story short, it's filler for me, but I don't think it's a bad TV show per se. It just doesn't have the bite for me.
Yeah. I'm with you. It's filler as well for me. But, Mike, do come back and let us know.
I'll let you know.
Yeah.
I may come back wearing sackcloth and ashes.
Hey, we've all taken one for the team. You know, did a whole season of Z Nation. So. Okay, lastly, we have the last of our movies, which is The Martian, which is based on a book of the same name. And it stars, what's his name, who always gets bumped?
Damon.
That's the one. And Jessica Chastain and Kate Mara and
Sean Bean.
Sean Bean. Yeah, good call.
Your man from the newsroom.
Mark's buddy. Yeah, him.
Yeah.
Jeff Daniels.
Yeah.
Kirsten Wiig.
Yeah.
Michael Pena.
That guy.
And is that the guy from 12 Years a Slave? Tweetle.
Yes, it is. Tweetle Ejiofor. Yeah. Sorry. Tweetle Ejiofor. I just can't. We need Sean here for that. You know who else is in this? Is Mackenzie Davis from halt and Catch Fire.
Ah, good spot.
Yeah. And she's in the audience of the Muppets for this, or as they call it, Houston. Did you notice that? Actually, just to hit to that before we get into is, you know, every scene that there's an accomplishment in where like they open a door and the air doesn't get out and suddenly they all erupt into cheering and stuff. And it's like, it really is like the audience of the Muppets. Like, hey. But yeah, so this is about mission to Mars, manned mission to Mars, and they're all there and they're all happy and doing their experiments and stuff, and a big storm blows in. They go, oh shit, we better get out of here because it's a big one. And so they all try and make it over to the return ship. Except one guy doesn't make it because he's hit by some debris.
Hey, where's Johnny?
Yeah, where's Johnny gone? I'll get him. You go ahead. Right. And anyway, long and the short of it is Johnny doesn't make it. And so he wakes up the next morning after all the dust has settled on
Head
him.
hanging off.
Yeah, head hanging off. Jeez, it was some rough night. And he realized that they all left me, man.
Never mix your drinks.
Yeah.
Is there a scene in the departing space shuttle, like in Home Alone, where somebody goes, Kevin,
Yeah.
and they all realize they've left someone behind?
So he's left alone, and he's got 31 days of supplies or something that was built for 6 people, but he has to wait what he thinks is 4 years for another mission to come and pick him up.
Yeah.
And so it's about him really trying to survive, doing a lot of maths, doing a lot of science stuff, and so the movie sort of starts there. That's probably the first act, isn't it?
Yeah, more or less.
Yeah, more or less. Yeah. So what you think?
I was pretty disappointed
Really?
overall.
Did you read the book, actually?
No, I didn't read the book.
Okay.
I went into it with high hopes.
Yeah.
Because I love all this spacey crap.
Mm-hmm.
And the first 20 minutes I thought was really, really good.
Yeah.
I saw the 3D version, and it was, like I've given out about 3D before, over and over again. This time they finally got it right. The lighting was good. So when you have the 3D glasses on, it's not all dark and you're peering around trying to see who the fuck is that,
Yeah.
And instead of using 3D to enhance action scenes, they did it to enhance the vistas. Looking out over the surface of Mars was just incredible.
Yeah.
I thought, wow, that looks so fucking cool.
Yeah.
So kudos to
the
them
graphic
for that.
designers.
Yeah. They did a great job, I have to say.
Stellar job.
Stellar job, yeah.
There's an Oscar right there.
Yeah. However, after the first 20 minutes, that's quite a rush. It's very exciting.
Yeah.
Very well put together, I thought. Character development, maybe not so great, but you kind of lose track of that with all the good stuff that's going on.
Yeah.
However, after that initial kind of hijinks, the movie slows way, way, way down. So Matt Damon is left on Mars, and he's kind of, what am I going to do now?
Yeah. So lonely.
Yeah, so lonely. So the problem is, Matt Damon, good as he is, he's stuck on his own for most of the movie. So he's nobody to feed off. And
no one to pull up his sleeve when he's doing the washing up and it falls down.
Exactly.
And he has to kind of do it with his face.
Yeah.
That's how lonely he was.
Yeah. So, like all these other big name actors, like Jessica Chastain and whatever, they're just disappearing for a very large section of the movie. They're effectively wasted. And then, excuse me, they try and fill in the blanks on Mars with a lot of humor, which is okay for a while, but it's a bit kind of PG-12-ish sort of humor.
You're talking about the science bits, right?
Well, no. I was going to get to the MacGyver in space thing in a minute.
Okay, sorry. I'm jumping ahead.
I was thinking more of, him talking to himself and whatever. And, in the ship's logs or whatever.
Yeah.
So
He's that kind of guy.
Yeah. So the science bits were okay.
I thought they're pretty decent. Instead of like going into the actual maths and stuff, that they show him doing something practical and going, "Oh yeah, you worked all that out." Yeah. With hilarious consequences.
Yeah. I did enjoy the starring role given to duct tape in this movie.
Such like that.
Every time it happens, like, come on, Red Green.
I meant to say, just a complete aside tangent. Yeah. I saw a great use of duct tape the other day. It's on a Hank Williams Jr. album.
Okay.
And it's just a pair of cowboy boots. A guy standing there, and one of his soles is just duct taped onto his foot, like around the whole foot. It's very. I'll send it to you anyway. I thought you'd appreciate it.
Very good. Then there's quite a large section of the movie back on Earth.
Yeah.
And this is a big problem for the movie because there's too many characters. I've been giving out about this for a while, actually.
There is, you know what, you're right, there's a fair few now. They could have, there's one or two there that, intermediaries, intermediaries?
Just sitting there watching the movie, I was thinking, Sean Bean, news guy, Tweedle, and the media girl.
Yeah.
All those four characters could have been just one character.
Yeah.
they tried to put together a bit of conflict between them, and
maybe down to two, maybe.
Well, two, maybe, yeah.
Kind of like two faces from Batman.
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
Or
Gollum. So, like, the way they tried to build conflict between them, I thought just fell flat in its face. It didn't feel real. It didn't. At no point was I engaged and thinking, "Oh my God, what's going to happen next?"
Yeah, this is how it works in NASA for real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was just crap.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
What about you, Steve? What do you think?
I enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't a caper.
Yeah.
There wasn't enough people on Mars to make it a caper.
Yeah.
But I did enjoy it. I liked that. I just liked exploring that whole scenario
Okay.
with Matt Damon.
Yeah.
Because he's good at it.
Yeah.
And, he's got a particular set of skills, but he's not OTT about it.
Mm-hmm.
He's not special ops or anything.
Okay.
He just knows stuff from his training, and you can see it's all practical stuff.
Yeah.
And the way they establish communications and all that kind of stuff, that's kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
And then his experiments, they're very funny in places, and they're quite clever, and it kind of makes sense. The other crew, you know what I liked about this actually, as opposed to say, Gravity, right? It's a Robinson Crusoe movie, right? Yeah. It's a shipwreck movie again, right? But in Gravity,
is it Space Castaway?
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah, to a certain extent, yeah,
for sure.
Mm-hmm.
That's the Tom Hanks volleyball movie, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This was what's better about this as opposed to Gravity is not the whole spaciness, because actually I didn't think that floating around in space thing was that great. Okay. You could kind of see them changing directions in midair, sort of going, you didn't do, no, that didn't work. That doesn't work in space. Anyway, they were only minor, but it was, you didn't have these long blubbering monologues back to home.
Okay.
You know those ones that take up 20 or 40 minutes of those kind of pecking movies, most of it, this real heartstring puller type ones. He was just like getting on with it.
Cue the sad music.
Yeah. I'll be home, I swear. Come home, Daddy. That kind of stuff. They didn't do that, which is great.
Yeah.
Your
next birthday, honey. I'll be there.
Well, they had a little bit of that, but it was all justified, and it was, it wasn't pulling on heartstrings. It was just like, these are the facts, and this is this is a normal stuff. But they didn't have Matt Damon doing it, which was great. He was just like, shit. Yeah. I'm stuck here, balls, and going through normal emotions. It wasn't OTT about it. And I thought that was great. And that would have knocked it down a few points for me, because it just, God, geez. But anyway, I like that. Like you said, the Marscapes, fantastic. Yeah. Amazing. Really, really looked like I would imagine, or you see the pictures from the rover. It was brilliant. The NASA stuff, I'd agree with you, was a bit long-winded at times. I did like that they had like a replica there, which you'd imagine they would, to try and figure out problems, and maybe if he does this and this, and some of the solutions were pretty cool. And the ending was pretty decent.
Do you think?
Yeah, I thought it was okay. Yeah, for sure. Gravity had that mad thing, the one person craft thing,
right.
End up on a Paradise Beach thing, but no, this was now they skipped a bit, which I was looking forward to. It was like, so how do they do the thing in place, and but they kind of skipped that bit, but that was fine. So in conclusion, I quite enjoyed this, and I'd recommend it.
Okay.
I would say definitely go and see it in 3D.
All right.
For sure. Yeah, because Mars does look gorgeous.
Yeah. What about the soundtrack?
Honestly, I didn't notice.
Oh, okay. That annoyed the piss out of me.
Really?
Yeah. Because they played all this 70s pop music and whatever.
Oh, that bit.
And and that went on throughout the movie.
Yeah.
I thought...
Okay, I get what you mean.
Yeah. The joke was fine to start with. But, let it go.
Yeah, for the character to mention it twice, or maybe 3 times. Okay. They could have just let it play in the background.
Yeah.
Okay, I get you,
I thought it was too much in your face. I thought it really seriously lacked any kind of tension.
Really?
Yeah, at no point did I ever worry about any of the characters.
Come on.
No.
Come on.
There's one point where a guy does a spacewalk without a harness.
Yeah.
And I was looking at it and I wasn't worried about it. I was just thinking, you stupid bastard.
I was like, oh my God, you're crazy. Yeah.
How the hell did you pass astronaut school?
Yeah. No, but at the start, for sure. And later on, there's a couple of moments I was like, uh-oh.
Yeah.
You know, I did get tension at those points, but maybe not as much as maybe you'd have liked.
Yeah. I mean, I was pretty worried when he ran out of ketchup.
4 years without ketchup. So, in conclusion, Michael.
It's a pretty disappointing sort of a thing. I would, like in spacey type stuff, I did prefer Gravity. I did prefer Interstellar. I can't go beyond a 5 for this. You know, despite the fantastic visuals.
Oh wow!
I just thought the story was really weak, and the characterization was really poor.
Wow.
Yeah.
You sure you went to see The Martian?
Yeah.
Matt Damon, right? Yeah. Yeah. No, I really enjoyed this, and you know, the main point of it was the exploration of the manned mission to Mars, which is not that far in the distant future, you'd imagine, the next generation or so. So yeah, I liked exploring this whole possibility, and I'm going to give it a solid 7.
All right.
Yeah, I would recommend this. Yeah. Yeah, it's a good looking movie. A lot of money spent.
Shed load of money, I'd say.
Great cast. Yeah. So 7 for me. Yep. Okay. So next up, we've got some previews. Coming to a bicycle. Here you. So, Bone Tomahawk. Kurt Russell. What did you reckon? You're on mute.
As I was saying, I'm totally up for watching that one.
So this is about 4 men set out in the Wild West to rescue a group of captives from cannibalistic cave dwellers.
Yeah, it's funny the way they teased the villains, because you just assume it's going to be Indians, right?
Yeah.
And then in the last scene of the trailer, they kind of show you this person with, say, an unusual choice of hat.
Yeah.
But it looks like a really good traditional style Western where your woman's been taken and you got to go get her. You know, like, isn't that what they do in Westerns nearly always?
Yeah.
And it's complicated because some idiot let a guy break his shin with a hammer.
He sure did. Yeah. Yeah, it looks interesting. It's kind of a let's get a posse together and go get these guys, you know. But where are they?
Yeah.
Oh, they're a long, long way away back in the 1800s. I can tell you. We're going to do a 5-day ride in 3 days, and when the horses die, we'll walk. And they do. Yeah. Yeah, it looks...
No, it looks really interesting. It looks really gritty, like really dark, I would say.
Yeah.
Like a good Western should be.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely interested in seeing it.
Yeah, I think you'd like this, Mike.
Cowboy movie, of course you're going to like it.
Yeah.
Oh, Mike would love it.
Yeah, I think you'd love it.
Jesus
All over that stuff.
Next one that we looked at is 99 Homes. And the description for this isn't what I got from the trailer. The description is, a father struggles to get back the home that his family was evicted from by working for the greedy real estate broker who's the source of his frustration. So this stars Michael Shannon. Do you remember Michael Shannon? He was in Boardwalk
Not
Empire,
really, but he's
and
familiar.
he was the what do you call that, assassin one that I was looking forward to
Oh,
last
yeah,
week.
scary looking fella.
Yeah. And Andrew Garfield's
Is
in
that
this.
who he is?
Yeah.
Is that who he is?
That's who he is.
I knew him.
So, yeah, this looks like a new role for Michael Shannon, for sure. I think this looks good. This looks interesting. I want to know what it's about. He's a real estate broker who owns 99 homes and wants to get 100.
Wow.
So he does some, sort of dark dealings and so on, I think, along the way.
I was just thinking, it must be kind of hard to go through life, when you walk into a petrol station or something and like the staff cower behind the counters.
Because you look like Michael Shannon.
Just take what you want, man.
You're our 1 millionth customer. Take whatever you need. Yeah. What do you think of this, Mark?
I kind of like the look of this one as well, Steve. It's interesting because it seems like, hearing you describe the synopsis, it sounds very straightforward what's going on.
Yeah.
But the trailer doesn't make it that straightforward.
It doesn't, no.
Yeah, you kind of have to read between the lines a bit to get what they're talking about. Or maybe you read a synopsis somewhere, I'm not sure. But I didn't pull it out nearly as cleanly as you described it there.
Oh, I pulled that synopsis off IMDb. Don't worry about it.
Oh, good man, good man. Right, that's what I should have done. Yeah. So it looks also gritty, although obviously with a modern feel, unlike the Western trailer we just reviewed. And it seems like there's some pretty strong performances on screen there.
Yeah.
So I'd be kind of interested in seeing how this works out as well.
Yeah. I really like Michael Shannon, so I'd say I'll throw this on the list at some stage. It's out at the end of October, actually. Yeah. So the last one we looked at is a movie called A War.
You were doing so well.
And now he's given out about this because it's got subtitles.
Ah.
It's Norwegian made, and it's
Norwegian made. Like, who even cares?
Well, actually, sorry, it's not Norwegian. It's Denmarkian.
Didn't
exactly.
Mark, Mark like Dead Snow?
Hmm?
Didn't Mark like Dead Snow?
He did. He's only given out to give out. Yeah. So
wanker.
The English version of Dead Snow. Yes, I did.
So this stars Pilo Asbæk, who we know from The Killing, Borgen. He's here's a bit of a spoiler. He's going to be in Game of Thrones next year.
Oh, okay.
And he was also in that one. God, do you remember that one I made you watch about the deep sea divers?
Yeah.
Yeah, and he was in Lucy.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, you definitely know him. But
he was very good in Borgen, actually.
Yeah, really, really good. Yeah, yeah, he's a strong actor. But anyway, he's in Afghanistan, and during a routine mission, the soldiers are caught in heavy crossfire. Mm-hmm. In order to save them, he makes a very difficult decision, which has future retributions for both him and his family. Bit of a court case, I think, about this. There's an investigation and so on. Yeah. So, I know Mark is probably going to wait for the English version to come out.
It looks like complete shit, Steve.
Even without subtitles. Even without subtitles. Really?
Shit.
Why is that? Tell us.
It's boring. It looks boring as hell.
Is that because it's not all war and there's a court case?
No, it's not about war at all.
Yeah.
It's about the tragedy, the tragic loss of life during war.
Yes.
Which is something I'm familiar with, but prefer to watch it in the guise of something like Rambo.
Yes, it's about the consequences of actions abroad, I guess. They come home to haunt
maybe
them.
just caught me in a bad night, but it seems like a really, I don't want to say gritty again because that'll be 3 for 3.
True.
But it seems like the message is war is terrible, terrible things happen. And sometimes to be a man, you got to own up to them, even if you're leaving your own family without a father. And like that, I wouldn't even listen to someone telling me that story in a pub. Like, I'd be there, look at, no, do you know any Irishman jokes? So, no. Seeing it in a film where you have to read what people are saying, no. Just no.
To me, this looks like a good, gritty drama. Definitely. It's got both the action side of it, and it's also got the courty side of it, and it's got the impact on family and friends side of it. So,
you're right, Steve. It has everything.
It has
everything.
But it's got still that kind of dark Nordic sort of noir about it.
Sure, they're all the same, Steve.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this. Yeah.
All right.
You're not actually looking forward to it.
I am looking forward to it. Believe it or not.
You're
Mark.
not.
Believe it or
Steve,
not.
you're not.
This
honestly.
actually appeals to me. Well, Yeah, for sure.
Are you looking forward to it as much as the other gritty English films that we reviewed in the trailers? Tell the truth.
Probably, I think the Bone one, Bone Tomahawk. I'd probably go see that first. Then maybe this.
Right. Okay. Well, look, I'll take that. You're not a completely fucking lost cause. You don't even
imagine
know
being a lost cause in Mark's world.
Oh man,
God, there'd be no saving me. Yeah, that's what a lost cause is, though. Yeah, right. Yeah. Okay. So anyway, so that's it for this week.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, hopefully Sean will join us again next week. This week, he was to join us, but got a last minute call in to do a bit of acting in the film that he's doing at present.
These goddamn movie stars, they're just so
I know.
unreliable.
I know.
You know?
This better be good. This better be good.
Yeah. I mean, we even set him up with the changing room and everything. And makeup artists. And
I know. He's such a diva these days.
Yeah.
Flew
in that water from Vietnam.
On the table just like he asked for.
Yeah. Right. So from Mike, Mark, and Steve, stay classy.